Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome back to the Dom Trap, or welcome to the Dom Trap, where I am your host, your editor, creator, producer, executive producer, all of the above. And of course, I am your first, your last, and your everything. I go by the name of Dominique, and yes, welcome to the Trap. Uh, really excited to be back. Got a few more movies I want to get out of the way. I have been going a lot recently, so I do have a lot to talk about. So yes, before we get into business, shout out to everyone listening, and of course, shout out to the friends of the pod, I guess you could say. Um, Leaving all the feedback and letting me know, what I'm doing well and what I can improve on. So I appreciate all of you. Um, Without going into too many specifics, shout out to everyone checking out the TikToks and liking those and showing those love and sharing those. By the way, if you didn't know, I do have a TikTok and it's at the Dom Trap, where I do these kind of mini reviews. I'm calling them off the cuff reviews, and I'm doing them right when I leave the movie theater, so I can get like first impressions off instead of having to wait to talk about them here. So if you would like to see that more kind of free form content, it is on TikTok and for your availability. So, with that being said, I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is staying safe and not being sick. I hope so. I know there's something going around. I know last week I was feeling a little down and had a stuffy nose and all that good stuff, and I just kind of chilled out, worked from home, of course, and didn't really go to the gym, so I didn't spread it. So there was that. But I want to say for the past maybe 4 or 5 days, I have been feeling a lot better. So I'm happier about that. Let's see, what else has been going on? Oh, I've been gaming a good bit. I've been playing a particular game which I don't really want to discuss here, but if you know, you know. I'm having a really good time with it. But yes, so with that being said, let's go ahead and go into this first review I want to get out of the way. Now, this one is a funny one. Oh yeah, but first. Let me just say that we need to give a big round of applause to the month of January, because this is by far the greatest January film month that I've ever witnessed in my 30 years of living. By the way, yes, I have turned 30 now. So in my 30 years of life, I've never seen January like this, where it's just so many good movies and not many bad movies. So I'm super grateful for that, and I'm looking forward to seeing everything else is coming out this year, because I don't think it's letting up anytime soon. But this first movie I want to talk about, I went to I kind of signed up for this Mystery Movie Monday at my movie theater, and I was like, okay, let's see what this is about. I've never been to one because of my old work schedule. Couldn't really make it. Never really worked out for me. So I was like, let's just see what they show. Like, is it going to be something like Ghostbusters or Jurassic Park or something old, or is it going to be something new? And it was the latter. It was indeed something new. It was a movie that didn't come out for like another 3 weeks. So that was pretty fun. But the movie was Missing. And if you don't know what that is, if you remember a movie from a few years ago called Searching, about this teenage girl that goes missing, and her father is trying to find out where she is by using things like his phone, his computer, regular phone calls, and he's just trying to get to the bottom of the mystery himself, because he thinks that he can do a better job than the authorities. And these movies are all taking place like looking at the screen of an iPad or an iPhone or a MacBook, and it's an interesting concept to me. I like how these movies are laid out. Me being a techie, so kind of right up my alley. And then you throw in a little bit of murder mystery or just flat out thriller mystery. I'm all in there, all in there. So when I saw the trailer for Missing, I was like, okay, they're back with another banger, because they also have another movie. I don't know if many of you saw, called Profile, which is similar, but it's different in a lot of ways. But Missing is one where I was like, okay, I'm gonna like this one for sure. It stars Storm Reed, Nia Long, Megan Suri, Kevin Long, and Daniel Henney. And it's basically about Storm Reed's mother, who is Nia Long, going missing, hence the title. and she's trying to find out what happened to her mother after she didn't show up to the airport. And like Searching, this movie takes place almost entirely from a MacBook screen and an iPhone screen. FaceTime calls and regular phone calls, all that good stuff, and trying to hack into someone's email. And it's an interesting concept. It's an interesting movie. I loved it. I was super happy to see that this was showing for my mystery movie Monday because I was going to see it anyway. So the fact that I got to pay less, plus I got like I think it's a super discounted like free small popcorn and drink almost. It was basically free. And yes, this was absolutely worth my time. I think it'd be worth your time if you like a good thriller mystery type of movie. And of course, if you like kind of techie based movies, yeah, this is gonna be right up your alley. But yes, her mother goes missing after going to Colombia with her new boyfriend, who the daughter doesn't really know much about. You find out some things about the boyfriend, you find out things about the mother, you find out things about other characters that you do not expect to even really care about at all. But the way that it unfolds, it's so much fun. Like from beginning to end, I was like, I wasn't on the edge of my seat, but I was thoroughly enjoying it, and people around me they were enjoying it as well. So it's a very very interesting movie. It's a lot of fun. It's all of the good things. I wouldn't say it's a horror movie. I wouldn't say. I just say it's just a thriller. But yes, if you like thrillers, this will be right up your alley. The performances, Storm Reed in particular, she had to carry the movie because the movie is primarily about her. Granted, Nia Long is in the movie, but she's not there for very long because she's, of course, missing. Once again, hence the title. But she kind of does a really good job carrying the movie. She does a lot of, she shows a lot of emotion. And, Storm Reed, anyway, as we see as in, when she's in Euphoria, she's always, peeking behind the corner crying about something. So she does a lot of crying in this movie and a lot of teary faces. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. But yes, she does a lot of that, which is, I guess you could say, is her strong point. Uh, she also did a lot of that in what was that one movie? Invisible Man, where she played Aldous Hodge's daughter, and she did a lot of crying, and she did get hurt in the movie, of course, but like still, she she does a lot of that. The supporting characters are okay; they do what needs to be done. There's like a detective character, and he's like, we're gonna do what we can to find your mom and make sure that she gets home to you, and kind of standard roles. But towards, I want to say like maybe the last 35 minutes is where things kind of take a turn, and it's like, okay, yes, this is nice. You're finding more out about the story and why things are the way they are. Throughout the movie, they drop these little tidbits, and you're like, that was kind of odd for them to say. This may not mean something, or it may mean something in the future. It absolutely does, and to see it pay off is that was just the icing on the cake. It just had a really good payoff with this film. So I am going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. An 8. I really enjoyed it. It is a movie that does have rewatchability, just like Searching. Searching had a lot of rewatchability. I've seen that movie maybe 3 or 4 times at this point. Um, I love these kind of found footage films on top of everything, but the fact that it's done in such a way where it's not really found footage, but then again, it kind of is. What more can you ask for when it comes to this movie? So I highly recommend Missing if you haven't seen it yet. Uh, yeah, it came out on January 20th. I think it's still in theaters. May be, may not be. If not, I'm sure you can find it on Amazon Prime or YouTube or wherever you rent movies at. Should be available now. If not, then just hang tight. It's worth it. Very much worth it. Now, next, I want to get into something that I wasn't really looking forward to seeing. When I saw that it was being made, I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. And then there were rumors about a release, and then out of nowhere, I heard that it got canned when the Batgirl movie got canned. HBO Max, Warner Brothers, that whole deal that went down. So I was like, oh wow, so we may not actually see this movie at all. So a little curious. I was like, I started looking a few things up. And then I want to say 2 days after that is when I saw the actual trailer for it. And I was like, oh buddy, here we go. Here we go. Let's see how the public reacts to this information. This movie is House Party, by the way, which is I don't want to say it's a remake or a remaster. It's more of a spiritual sequel, I guess you could say. Um, and me, I love the original House Party. I love House Party 2, 3 to a certain extent, even 4 to a certain extent. They lost me with the one that came out on like VH1 a few years ago or MTV, whichever Viacom network it came on. With the kid from Everybody Hates Chris. They kind of lost me there. I really wasn't a big fan of that one. But when I saw that this one was like produced by LeBron James and he's kind of a part in the movie, the party is being held at his house, I was like, okay, let's see how this goes. And it's kind of funny how LeBron James and Warner Brothers are like this at this point. They're holding hands. They're hanging on for life with Space Jam, A New Legacy, and then this movie. So I think that's just kind of funny. It's just like they might have just been sitting in the room while they were doing Space Jam and were like, hey, let's just do a house party movie, Why not? Which is hilarious how it just came about. But yeah, this movie actually was released, surprisingly. It stars Jacob Lattimore, Tosin Cole or Tosin Cole. I'm not sure exactly how to say his name. This is my first time seeing him in a movie anyway. I think he was on a TV show called The Godfather of Harlem, I believe. It also has LeBron James in it, of course. It's his whole movie. He was in Space Jam. Why not be in this? Also, DC Young Fly plays the kind of Martin Lawrence character. He's the DJ, comedy, funny guy. He does DC Young Fly thing. He's just DC Young Fly in this movie. He could have literally just played himself. Also has a ton of cameos. This movie it relies almost entirely on these cameos. Like I wasn't really expecting a lot of these people to be in this movie. It was just kind of like, okay, here we go. They're just a lot of people, and then the movie wasn't really engaging to say the least. So I was like, all right, so let's just see how this thing actually is going to go, And I think it's safe to say that this is one of the worst January movies of the year. And I'm not sure if that's going to surprise any of you. It's just not a great movie. I was in there. I went there opening night. Let me just say this. I went to go see House Party opening night, and there was only one other guy in there, a black dude. And I thought that was hilarious because when I was getting my ticket, I seen like a group of like 10 seats in the middle of the theater. And I guess that might have just been to kind of fluff the theater numbers, but yeah, nobody showed up. It was just me and him. And we laughed a couple of times. There were a few moments that made us chuckle. We laughed at just basically the same thing. Never seen this dude in my life. We laughed at like the same moments. But it just wasn't really funny. The story wasn't great. It was just like it felt like an entire afterthought. This movie felt just so matter of fact. And they just got to a point where they were like, hey, do you have so-and-so's phone number? Call them and see if they'll come to this mansion or whatever on this day to just shoot for 2 seconds to be in this house party movie. And I guess it worked to a certain extent. I can't say that it was a success, but it works. I didn't walk out or anything, I stuck around. It's like one of those bad BET comedy movies where they have like the scene where there's like an animal that goes wild and then they wrestle with the animal. And then, the animal's of course like a plush. It's just one of those movies. But yeah, as far as cameos, man, this thing is absolutely stacked. I was like, wow. Kid and Play make a super short cameo. I was like, was that supposed to be there? Because I saw them in the trailer. But when they actually show up in the movie, it's like, is that all you got to show of them? Like, is that it? But Yeah, it's loaded. Kid Cudi is in here. He takes them. He takes the main characters to the Illuminati, which is like a crazy scene in itself. Let's see. I'm just gonna roll through here. Also, yeah, they have the bully type characters. One of them is actually Rotimi, and one of them is Melvin Gregg from Vine and Snowfall. There's also let's see. Sorry. Oh yeah, Maya shows up in the movie at the beginning. One of the character, he's one of the characters is like fantasizing about this picture of Maya, the old '90s singer uh, that he has hanging up on his wall. And he's like, I think it'd be dope to meet her. I think it'd be dope to have her there. Just like, all right, I see which way y'all are going with this. So she actually shows up. Teddy Ray, rest in peace, is in this movie for just a little bit of a stint, which was, it was good to see him. Really good to see him. Snoop Dogg shows up. Juvenile is in this movie. Big Sean and Hit Boy. Lil Wayne pops up for like 3 seconds. And he's not with Juvenile, which is kind of crazy. Anthony Davis is here. Karuchi is here. Drewski is here. It's just a lot of people. Just a lot of people just show up for like not even 3 or 4 minutes, and it's just like, all right. Lena Waithe is also in the movie. She smokes weed with the plush animal koala bear that's in the movie. It's just dumb fun. It's such a dumb movie, and I can't say that I had a bad time with it. I thought it was okay. You know, that's about it. I don't have a lot to say about this movie. If you know those kind of BT movies that are just kind of like, hey, let's just put this out. It has a lot of people in it. You know what it really reminds me of? It reminds me of those movies that came out in like 2007, 2006, 2008 maybe, like The Cookout with that one guy and he was like a basketball player and Queen Latifah was like a cop. It reminds me of those types of movies, like Breaking All the Rules, but it just has cameos. It really reminds me of that movie. It has that kind of spirit. Like we don't know what we're doing, so we're just gonna have all of these people show up and hope that we can keep you entertained for 80 some odd minutes. And I could say that it just works. House Party works. Not the best thing to come out in January by far, but it works. So I'm gonna throw I throw a good 6 out of 10 on this one. It was just dumb fun. And there's always got to be just one of those movies. Not every movie has to be an Avatar 2 or Titanic or a Marvel superhero movie. Not every movie has to be that, but this movie just serves its purpose as being just stupid. It's just a stupid movie. And I can't be mad at it. Cannot be mad at it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about one more movie. This may be a little bit of a shorter episode, but that's okay because you'll see a lot more of me soon. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Um, the next movie is Plane. Now, Plane is the new Jared Butler. I know a lot of people call him Gerard Butler, but the man's name is Jared Butler. It's one of his new movies, and he plays this pilot, like a plane pilot. And he's a super likable guy. The staff on the plane like him. His daughter loves him. His wife is dead, unfortunately. And he's just trying to get these people to their destination. So they're on the plane. And then out of nowhere, just this black dude comes up. He's like, hey, we got this prisoner on board. We need to get him in the back and nobody needs to sit near him. And everybody's surprised, like, all right, cool. You say that. You're the big FBI guy. So he FaceTimes his daughter. He's present, and then they take off. Everything is fine. You get to meet some of the passengers in these kind of like little 30-minute shots. You get to see what kind of personalities they have, even though it doesn't really matter. Um, but they're taking off, and he's like, okay, there's a storm coming up. Should I avoid it or should I go through it? And the guy's like, yeah, just go through it. We don't have enough money to give you gas, or we can't get you gas out there. So yeah, just go through it. Terrible idea. The plane gets struck by lightning and they crash in They crash on this island, and it's a war torn island where there's like pirates, I guess you could say. There's like the people that are coming out to take and salvage whatever they can. So they crash and he lands like in the like one of the roads, which of course he's a good pilot. He's Jared Butler. He's the hero. He's gonna do what he needs to do. On the way, like after the plane got struck by lightning, a few people did die. One of the flight attendants passed away, and then the FBI guy that was watching the freaking murderer prisoner out of nowhere just like decides to stand up, and then the plane hits some turbulence. He like bounces. I guess he breaks his neck or something. Then he lands just like on the floor of the plane, and he's dead. So like two people have died already, and it's just like okay, it's gonna be one of those movies where we get to see these passengers get picked off one by one until the hero, of course, saves the day. Pretty predictable movie, right? So they they get off the plane, and also the prisoners played by Mike Coulter, who a lot of you may know as Luke Cage from the Netflix show. So he's black dude, bald, got a beard, buff dude, scary, intimidating looking murderer. What can he do to everybody? So they get off, and they're like, "What do we do? We don't have food. We don't have water. We just have what we have on the plane." They're like, "All right, everybody just chill out. We're gonna figure this out." And it just turns into an action movie. Like Jared Butler just goes into like this building. He's trying to call people, and one of the pirate guys like they pull up outside, and he's like, "All right, I gotta fight these guys." And he legit just like fights a dude. It's like it's an actual decent fight. Like they actually go at it. Like it feels like a real fight. They get tired, just sloppy, but it's like this dude's not like a trained professional. He's a pilot. Granted, I think he did say that he had some military experience, of course, but like it was a decent one-on-one fight inside of the war-torn island destroyed building. And he runs into Mike Coates' character, and he's like, "Yeah, I got a gun for you. We need to figure out what to do here. I'm gonna help you out. I'm a big black dude. You know, we're gonna get through this. I'm not as bad as you may think that I am because I'm big and black. That type of conversation." So they get back and they discover that the pirates have found the plane along with the passengers. And for some reason, these passengers are some of the dumbest hostages I've seen in a movie in a long time. Like they are just they're dumb. They don't hide. They like wave down the pirates because they think that they're being helped. Um Also, yeah, there's like the FBI of the group where they're like, all right, we got to get our people home. Let's hire some mercenaries to go and save them. And it's just a lot. It's a lot. But I loved it because I knew that there was just gonna be some stupid action. I knew that there was gonna be something dumb. The main pirate villain. You just know. You've seen Die Hard. You've seen all these movies where there's just like a central villain, and you're like, okay, when this villain dies, it's gonna feel, kind of therapeutic. They're gonna die in such a stupid and ridiculous way. You know, what can go wrong? And the hostages, of course, they do get captured and they get taken to like this prison type house area. And of course, Jared Butler and Mike Coulter, the black dude, they go there and they save all the prisoners. And then a fight ensues, of course, because why not? The mercenary people are there. They got a plan. They're gonna try to drive off. Jared Butler tries to sacrifice himself because basically he's the prize because he's the pilot. So he's like, okay, follow my lead. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna surrender, and then you take the people. He's trying to be the hero. He gets shot in the leg, I think. He like turns around and he's like, "Yeah, I don't want to do this." But they eventually like get off and they get back to the plane. The plane starts working, barely, and then they're trying to leave. And the black dude's like, I can't go back with you. I'm a prisoner. I'm not going to jail. I'm not going back. Basically. So they're like, all right, you could stay here, I guess. It's such a dumb plan. Like, the dude's just like, I hate it here, but I'm gonna stay here because I don't have anywhere else to go. So the mercenaries were paid with like a big bag of cash, which is hilarious. And Mike Coulter's character sees the bag And like during the fight, he like takes the bag and like runs off, like just in the fight. And it's like, okay, so it's like this kind of cool shootout where they're like on the plane taking off, and then the pirates at the end of the runway while it's taking off, and everybody's just shooting, and I'm like, how is this plane not exploding or anything? They got like RPGs and stuff and grenade launchers, a lot of explosions, but this plane is still standing, state of the art plane, I guess. But yes, they actually get the plane off the ground. The main pirate guy is like trying to go to the end of the runway and blow the plane up with another RPG. And as he's about to shoot, Mike Coulter comes out and like blows something up. He shoots something. And then he looks at the plane and he picks up the bag of money again. He just takes off towards like some cornfield or something. It's dumb. It's dumb. But I can't say that I did not enjoy it. So the main guy's like trying to get like another rocket into the RPG, and Gerard Butler's like pulls the plane up, and he gets crushed by the pirate guy. He gets crushed by like the plane wheel into the car. It's so stupid. It's funny though. It's funny. This movie's a 7 out of 10. It's something about these kinds of movies. They're just fun. They're dumb. That's their purpose. They're supposed to be this way. I saw someone come out and was like, "Oh, this is the worst movie I've ever seen." It's not supposed to be. It's a movie about a plane and hostages. What do you expect? Tarantino type quality? Like, no, that's not what we're getting here. We're getting a dumb action movie for about 90 minutes or so. That's about it, you know? But yes, that was Plane. Super dumb, super actiony type of movie. Things don't really make sense. It just keeps going on and on and on until there's the conclusion. And once again, I just cannot be mad about it. I can't be mad at a 7 out of 10 movie. I did go into this movie thinking it was going to be terrible. I was like, maybe this is going to be the worst 2023 January movie, because I didn't really hear anybody talk about it. But I was thoroughly surprised. I love this movie. I might get it on Blu-ray or something. I don't know. Who knows? This movie really kind of woke me up a little bit that day, because I was a little tired and I wanted to go see this. And I was like, all right, I want to go fight some people, I'm just joking. But yeah, that was Plane. But let's see. Since it's February, I want to check out one thing here. Let's see. I do want to see what else is coming out this year. Or this month, sorry. So I've seen a few of these already. I'm looking at them now. And yeah, I'll discuss them very, very soon. I know the movies that I talked about on my TikTok. I haven't reviewed those yet. Those will be coming soon. But I have seen Knock at the Cabin. You'll get that review soon. I have seen Magic Mike's Last Dance. You'll get that soon as well. But coming soon, actually this next week, we have Ant-Man Quantumania, which I am very much looking forward to. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. I am a fan of the Ant-Man movie, so pretty excited to see where this one goes, especially after the events of Endgame. 80 for Brady has been released. It's a movie about some old ladies that go to NFL games. I'm gonna see it. I have to. I absolutely have to see it. The week after Ant-Man comes out, Cocaine Bear comes out, and I'm super excited for Cocaine Bear. When I heard about it, I was like, okay, this just sounds stupid. When I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks stupid, but it's right up my alley as far as stupid movies go. So, looking forward to Cocaine Bear. Also, Jesus Revolution, about some hippies that go to church. It has Kelsey Graham. I love Kelsey Graham, so I will be seeing him in that movie. But yeah, it's up. It's up. Then of course we got more movies in March. We got Creed coming soon. We got Scream 6. Oh brother, I'm so excited. So excited for what's to come. So be on the lookout for those movies and my reviews for those movies as well. this coming weekend, I will be going to this thing called, let's see, I forgot what it's called. I have to look at my ticket. That's terrible. I'm going to an event and I totally forgot the name of the event itself. Mad Monster Party. It's going to be in Charlotte. I will be going to that. If you follow my socials, maybe I'll post a picture or two. But I got this really cool shirt, which I'll show you all soon. It looks kind of dope. It looks kind of dope. So I'm excited to wear that to the horror convention that I'll be going to. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, I think that's just going to do it for this episode. I will be back soon. I do have more reviews to get back to you. So be on the lookout for the next episode. Check out the TikTok. Check out the Twitch streams. Those have been going pretty well. I've been posting TikToks of those as well if you've been seeing them. I appreciate it. So with that being said, hope that you have a great rest of your week. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you lovers. I will see you soon. And again, it has been me, Dominique, your host, editor, creator, producer, executive producer, and last but not least, I am your first, your last, and your everything. I will see you all soon. Take care. Peace.